Hey everyone, it's Simone Watson, and it's June 13th, 2017, and this is like my first booktube video. Yay! So I'm going to talk about what I am currently reading and what I have read recently. Okay, so first off, I am an editorial intern at a publishing company, and I read books for that internship, but I can't actually tell you what those are. So at any given moment, I could be reading that, but I'm just not gonna bring it up here. So, okay, okay. So the first published book that I am reading right now is this one, "The Edge of Everything" by Jeff Giles. I think that's how that's pronounced. You guys, this book, I think it's dark fantasy or like supernatural something. Whatever it is, I don't usually read it. Like, it has to do with oh, look, it says "One More Soul." Isn't that cool? It's on the pages. Okay. So, I don't usually read whatever genre this is. I'm going to say dark fantasy. And so I think I picked it up because I heard it mentioned on um Christine Riccio's channel, which is Pole and Bananas Books. And I was just like, oh, well, I saw it in the library. It looked interesting. Library. Oh, another thing. A lot of the things I read are from the library or some other, like from the library or like on Riveted, where you can read books for free temporarily, or First to Read, Penguin First to Read, where they give you books, because my book buying budget is currently quite low. So I'm just, saving money where possible. Okay, so here we go. This one, yeah, I saw it in the library and was just like, okay, I'll give this a shot. I really, really like it. I really like it. And I didn't think, the stuff about, there's a girl who lives in Montana and there's a guy who lives in the lowlands, which is like hell, and he works as a bounty hunter. He has to like go to like people that have done really bad things, and he has to like bring them to the lowlands. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just really, really enjoying it so far, and I high key want this to be a movie. Like, somebody get on this. Hollywood, get on this. Make this, because it's just like interesting, and it's just, I don't know. And I might start reading more books like this, more dark fantasy or whatever that's called. We'll see. Next, I am reading this. This is City of Saints and Thieves by Natalie C. Anderson. This is about a girl. She is Congolese. She's a Congolese refugee living in Kenya. And her mother has been murdered 5 years earlier. The girl's name is Tina. Her mother was murdered when she was 11. Now she's 16. And she goes to try and get revenge on the man that she is certain murdered her mother. But then things get a little complicated. So, yeah. Oh, and she's in a gang now. Okay. This book, I have mixed feelings about it so far. So this, I think I'm reading these books kind of like onions right now, where it's like I started book A, then book B, then book C, then book D, and like book D I have to finish before I go back to book C, if that makes sense. I'm having mixed feelings about it because of the narrative voice, and yeah, the main thing is the narrative voice. So, as we know, this girl is Congolese Kenyan. The author worked with refugees. She's worked with refugees for a long time. Now, I'm not going to specifically get into, but the author herself is not, from what I can tell, she's not Congolese or Kenyan. I'm not going to really get into the entirety of the stay in your lane debate. I am not saying that she shouldn't have written this. That is nowhere near what I'm saying. However, at times the voice doesn't really feel like it's coming from a Congolese Kenyan teenager. At times something about it doesn't feel quite authentic to me. Um, I'm sorry to say that because, you know, there are a lot of things I really like about this book. I think the author really has a way with words. I think that her style of it's like her prose doesn't have a lot of embellishments. Like it's not very like it's not purple prose or anywhere near purple prose. It's rather simple and straightforward, and she uses that as an advantage. Um, and I like that. So I think that that is good. I do also think there are moments where I wish it were just a little bit more descriptive, and I think maybe that would help me, you know, connect with this character a little bit more as well. Okay, so but I'm only 88 of like 400. So I'm not even a quarter of the way through the book. So things could definitely change. In the edge of everything, I forgot to mention I'm like a third to halfway through the book. Um, and I have started some other books. I started Tash Hart's Tolstoy. I cannot remember who the author is, so I'm gonna have to put that author's name in the description. I'm sorry. I started that on Riveted Lit just like an hour ago, and a couple of hours ago. It was really good so far. And it's an excerpt. You know, Riveted they post free books and they post free excerpts. This is like completely legit, okay? Because this is Riveted Lit. They're like from Simon and Schuster. So anyway, um, yeah, I read the excerpt and it was good. So if I can obtain the book, I can finish it, or I can wait for it to be in the library, which could take a couple of months. But we'll see. It's definitely a fun contemporary YA read. I think I think the humor is like a selling point of the narrative voice, and it's kind of it's about a girl who is making her name is Tash. She's making a web series with her friends, and then like suddenly the web series gets really popular. And so that's a pretty exciting premise. Okay, so that's one I've started. I have started, what's the book called? Ascending the Boneyard by C.G. Watson. That one, I've really only read like the first chapter, I think, or like half of the first chapter, and it's amazing. And so I need to finish my other books so I can get back to that. Very, very good use of language there. When we talk about like showing, not telling, this is like always stated to writers, right? That you should show and not tell. C.G. Watson, I think, has a really good grasp of how to show and not tell, especially in like her first few pages of the book. And she does that little thing where it's like she makes you question things like, oh, why is he thinking that? Why is such and such a thing? So I'm very interested in that. And I've started The 39 Clues by Rick Riordan, which is a children's book. I'm reading it in order to gain an understanding of like how to write for that age group, and how to write books that have to do with like puzzles and things like that. So that's really good so far. So yeah, those are the outer layers of the onion, so I'm going to have to get back to those later. And if you want to know what I have read recently, let me think. In May I read In Honor by Jessie Kirby. This one I thought was quite good. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I was kind of close to giving it 3.5. At 4 is good. No, 4, because it was a really good book. It was a really enjoyable book. I felt like there were certain things about the plot that could have been better with some relatively easy fixes. And so that was a little bit like, oh man, could have been better. But I thought it was really good. It's about a girl who is grieving the loss of her brother, a Marine who, you know, has just died. And she goes on a road trip from somewhere in Texas. If you guys know Texas, there's like a triangle where like 80% of Texas's people live, including, you know, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, and Dallas Fort Worth area. I think she lives outside of that. I think she lives kind of, because the rest of Texas is kind of middle of nowhere. I think she lives kind of in like a small town, like middle of nowhere. So she goes on a road trip from there out to LA, I think. And she goes with her brother's former best friend. It's definitely, I think, a beautiful book. There are some beautiful moments. There are some things that I want to do, because it's a road trip book, right? So there are things in there that are like, oh, I want to do that too. I want to go scuba diving or whatever. So that was really good. Then I read, that was on Riveted. Then I read How My Summer Went Up in Flames, another road trip book that was also on Riveted. And I was thinking, I don't really want to read another road trip book, but I'm so glad that I changed my mind and read it anyway, and at least gave it a shot. I ended up reading it in like one day and wishing that there were more book to it, and like, no, I don't want this to end. It was just such a fun read, and it had good themes in it. I think the themes in the book really spoke to me. How My Summer Went Up in Flames. This girl, she's accidentally set her ex-boyfriend's car on fire, and so he gets a temporary restraining order against her, and her parents want her to be out of town for a little bit to kind of take a step back from the situation. So they send her on a road trip with her really good friend and next door neighbor, Maddie, and his two friends, Spencer and Logan. And she's like she doesn't want to go on this road trip at all. And so in this case, the road trip goes from somewhere in New Jersey to Arizona State University. Again, just a fun road trip book. The stops that they went on were fun, but I think what really made this book amazing was the characters. I just think that they're like really funny. I think that the friendships are just like great in this book, and there's a little bit of romance, but it's not overpowering. There's definitely a lot more friendship than romance. And yeah, I liked seeing the main character Rosie kind of gain different insight on the situation, because sometimes you really do have to take a step back. Sometimes in the moment you're just not making the best decisions. You just need to get a little bit of distance, So thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, I will see you, I guess, tomorrow, because I'm gonna do Top 5 Wednesday. So yay, this is exciting. Okay, bye. Oh, but I'm probably gonna be wearing the same shirt because I'm just gonna film it right now. So okay, bye.